The Ride Home Rants podcast is brought to you by Reaper Apparel Company. Reaper Apparel offers a casual line of superb fit, finish, and comfort. We design for those who refuse to die slowly and choose to live untamed. For those who aren't afraid to face the dark, for the ones that thrive in it, and for those who can appreciate life through a grim lens. That's Reaper Apparel Company. Go to the link in the description of this episode, use the promo code Mike Bono, and get 10% off. Also, the Ride Home Rants podcast is brought to you by my own personal merch store, the Stupid Should Hurt merch store. I have hats, I have t-shirts, hoodies, coffee mugs, water bottles, notebooks, you name it, I've got it. The description and the link for that will be in the description of this episode. Also, right now, if you use the promo code WELCOME, I will give you 5% off of your first purchase. That's the Stupid Should Hurt merch store. Also, the Ride Home Rants podcast is brought to you by Tactical Brotherhood, all American-made apparel, which helps support the Second Amendment. You can also find all this in the description of this episode with the link, Tactical Brotherhood. Part of every proceed does go to helping veterans, as it is a very good cause. All American-made products made right here in Minnesota. Go and check them out. Use the promo code PATRIOT15 to get 15% off your purchase. Now, let's start the show. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Ride Home Rants podcast. This is, as always, your host, Mike Bono. I have a fantastic episode for us today lined up, but as always, be sure to peep all the sponsors at the beginning of the show. That's Reaper Apparel, that is Core Wealth Benefits, and as always, my own personal merch store, the Stupid Should Hurt merch store. All those links are in the description. And as you can hear him now laughing, my guest today comes to us from my hometown in Follansbee, West Virginia. He is currently a firefighter in Wheeling. He's a first responder. He's been a police officer. He's done a lot of different things. I'm so excited to reconnect and talk to him again. Harry Myers joins the show. Harry, what's going on, brother?
Mike, thanks for having me, brother.
Hey,
good to see you.
Not a problem. Oh, I forgot to mention, he did play a little hockey, and he has the weakest wrist shot I've ever seen in my life. We used to play hockey together. Oh, man. So first of all, how you been, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's good talking to you. The Christmas season wore me out. I'm currently recharging.
No, I get that. 100%. I work at Fanatics right now in the warehouse. So
oh, dude!
Insane.
Incredible time of the year for them.
It's yeah, for them, not their employees right now.
That's fair. That's totally fair.
On a light day, like a very light order day, I would walk 8.5 miles and lift and move 20,000 pounds.
Bro, you must be in the shape of your life.
I really wish I was, but that's how much of a piece of shit I was before this, that I'm still not in good shape, and I've been there 3 months. Like, so.
work in progress. It's a work in progress.
I have lost 50 pounds though, so.
Oh, that's incredible.
I was the heaviest.
Incredible, dude.
I was one of the heaviest I had been at 220 pounds.
You're about to lose 230 pounds when I beat the fuck out of your teenager.
Okay, and the wife in the background, yeah, my son apparently has pissed her off, which is awesome.
Listen, she knows what she wants. She knows what she wants, Mike.
She does, and it's going to be down a child is what it's going to be. Oh, man, yeah. She just, I don't know if anybody heard that, but she just said, I'm going to be down 230 pounds in a teenager. So.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I feel like that's a fair assessment.
It's a very fair assessment. I don't know what the hell he did, and I can't wait to hear this story. We'll figure that out at a later date. Anyways, man. So you're a firefighter right now in Wheeling. What station do you work at again?
I work at South Wheeling, station number 4.
Station number 4. What made you want to become a firefighter? Because like I said in the opening, you were a police officer for years.
Yeah, so the police thing just kind of happened. It wasn't my first choice. It wasn't even on the radar, really. As a kid, I always wanted to be a fireman from the time I can remember. So my family, growing up, Christmas, birthdays, stuff like that, I got fire trucks and firefighting memorabilia and stuff like that. I was easy to shop for. But that was always the dream. And then, ironically, I really wanted to be a wheeling fireman. That's like where I wanted to work. So for years and years and years, that was the dream. When I graduated high school, there was a test for wheeling fire right out of high school. And I took it, and I passed everything, got to the last portion, which is the swim test, because we have to be able to do and complete a swim test. And I didn't pass. I was not a proficient swimmer. And that haunted me for 17 years. I didn't take the test again. I was so embarrassed because I had friends on the job down there that I didn't take the test again until I was 35 and about to, I was going to age out. I couldn't test anymore after that. Right. And I was so tired of being a policeman. And I took the test just to see if I could, I wanted to see if I could pass it. I had 13 years as a cop. So it wasn't even really that I wanted to make the switch. I just wanted to prove to myself that I could do it. And I passed. And then after I passed, I got offered the job. And it was a somewhat difficult decision at first. And then I realized it was the right decision. And I made the switch from police to fire. And I've been doing it for 3 years now.
That's awesome because most people don't know. I mean, we met and you were a police officer in Fallsby where we grew up. And we, like I said, we played hockey together. We played a lot of street hockey together.
That was so much fun.
It was. But I will say this. I think me and you had the biggest balls out of everybody who played because we would fight every time we stepped onto the court, no matter what. And I was the goalie.
No one else wanted to, man. Someone had to do it. You got to have guys that are willing to go out there and be bruisers.
Gotta have those enforcers. You gotta have those enforcers. You gotta have the goon.
It's ironic that you were like the Ron Hextall of that team because you were like out there trying to fight people as the goalie. No one else would do that.
No one would. No, don't come in my crease. That's all. You don't get in my. That's my space.
He's not lying, folks. That's a true story.
I still remember the one time. I don't remember what started it, but me and you got into it, and the next thing you know, you're like, did you bloody my ear? What the hell happened?
Yeah, man. Like removing cartilage and stuff. I always thought that Mike was going to be a doctor because he was doing surgery out on the court. It was wild, man.
I found the video, and I didn't think I still had it on my phone forever ago when you were on duty, and I think you just got off or something like that, and you stopped up at the park where we were playing, and you're like, you know what, even in full gear, I bet I'll beat Mike 5-hole. And I was like, dude, bet, let's go. And you did a penalty shot, and I wanted to fight you there. I stopped the shot, and you still were talking shit in the background like you scored.
So it's funny that you say that, because, I was terrible at ice hockey. I played for 7 years in the adult league at Waha, and the guys would always tell me, they're like, man, Harry, you're absolutely terrible at skating. They're like, you talk shit better than anyone on the team. I'd be on the bench, and I would be talking shit to guys that skated by, just trying to pick fights and just be a jackass to get in their head. Right. And that was my shtick. That was my only claim to fame in hockey, is I was a good shit talker. I was terrible at hockey, but you gotta love the sport and you gotta respect the sport. And it's an absolutely fantastic game, and it's probably my favorite sport of all time. I coach soccer and stuff like that for my kids, and I'll watch them swim and whatnot, but nothing gives us more satisfaction than going to see a Wheeling Nailers game or going to see the Pens play. I mean, it's the best, man.
I got to tell you, I'm coming up on 4 years not being in West Virginia or that part of Ohio and being 2 hours away from home, and I miss the Nailers games. I miss going to Wheeling Nailers games. There's so much fun for an AHL team. You know what I mean? It's just these young kids that are trying to make a name for themselves.
So what a huge, truly to the area, what a huge value. And it's so underrated. And these guys, they come out, they put out 110% every game, and you have a fan base that, there's a clutch group of people that are season ticket holders that show up every game religiously, but they're a small fraction of the people that could be there and actually enjoy a little bit of, Americana, what Wheeling has to offer, and they don't come out. People don't come out for it. It's like either they forget that it exists, or they're more happy griping that there's nothing to do in the area when there's actually plenty to do in this area. People just don't take advantage. It's actually a shame, really. But I tell you what, man, over the years, I've seen some wild Nailers games. And for what like $15 a ticket, maybe? I mean, come on.
And that's up against the glass 15. You know what I mean? Like, you're getting great fucking seats for nothing.
Dude, one year I was my ex and I had season tickets originally. That was the first time I'd gotten season tickets, was like 06. We had just started dating, and we would go to these games. And I'll never forget. Like, saw some crazy fights, and I mean, like whole teams fighting. Like Andy Frank was the goalie at the time for the Nailers, and I watched him skate down the ice from his end to center ice because he was going to fight their goalie.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, the guy looked like a pop machine coming down the ice. He just looked huge. I was like, this is going to be so intense. It was. He absolutely rocked it, dude. It was incredible.
I still remember I met him in person because after, everything and all of us playing hockey and everything like that together, they had open tryouts, and a bunch of us that would play were like, dude, for shits and giggles, let's just go down and try out for the Nailers and see what the fuck happens. I was like, bet, let's do it. So we go down, and I'm like, they're like, what position do you play? I was like, goalie, or, I can skate a little defense, They're like, all right, we'll start you at goalie. I didn't realize how fast these guys' shots were. Andrew Orpik, Brooks Orpik's younger brother, was playing on the team at the time, and it was just warm-ups, and he took a shot. It was already in the net, and then I reacted to it. Like, that is how fast it was. I was like, holy shit. They're like,
Mike's like, I'll see myself out. Thank you. Have a nice night.
They started like, I think I stopped maybe 2 out of the 100 shots that got shot on me at this practice, and the coach was like, "Yeah, man, I don't think goalie's for you." I was like, "Yeah, you're right. Yeah, good call, coach." He goes, "But I tell you what, you said you could play defense a little bit." I was like, "Yeah, I can skate a little bit." He goes, "Come back tomorrow. We're going to put you on defense and see how you do." I was like, "All right, cool. Hey, I'm getting invited back for another day at least. I'll try it. Why not?" I go back the second day, and I forgot the golden rule of any sport, and that's keep your head on a swivel and keep your head up, because the puck came to me, I got it, and I'm looking down at it, and as I went to clear it up the ice, I look up, and Andrew Orpik is right here in my face, and I'm at the center dot, like on the face-off circle on the side. He hit me so hard, I landed at the red line and slid into the boards. And I got up, and everyone was just hooting and hollering because it was the biggest hit I think they've seen in a while. And it was an open ice hit, and I just got up. I said, "Thanks for your time, everybody. I'm going to go to the locker room. I'm done with this. Fuck this. This is not happening at all." And they were like, "Yeah, good call, kid. Yeah, just get out of here." I was like, "Thanks. I'm going to be icing myself for days." I don't even know what he's doing now, but I hope he's in hockey somewhere, because that hit, I still get like PTSD from it. Like, just shake every now and again. It's just a bad nightmare of just looking up, and yeah, he was right in my face. And I remember the quick thought was, this is going to hurt. This is going to hurt.
Those guys are absolute monster athletes, and what's wild is they're not. A lot of them don't even make it to the NHL,
right?
But like you'll get guys that'll come out to Waha, to senior league, to play. Tim Roberts is one of them, and they'll come out with a 12-pack of beer and get absolutely smashed on the bench, and go out and skate half speed and still be 100 times better than everyone else out there. Yeah. And incredible athletes. So yeah, my hat goes off to them, and they're a hell of a good time. What's nice now is that because I'm on the fire department and they hire EMS personnel, a lot of times I go to the games and work them, and I just bring my kids. They let my kids in, and we sit there and watch the games. I get paid to be there, so I can't complain. Like, the Nailers have been very good to the Myers family.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Oh my God, yeah, that's phenomenal. So you're an EMS on the fires in the fire department right now, currently, right?
Yeah. So we're all cross trained. We have to be firefighters and EMTs minimum,
Okay.
and then I'm actually in paramedic school right now because that's a required upgrade that you have to make to your licensure. So I'm currently going to Northern for paramedic. It is a very, very intense program, but hopefully by the end of November, I'll be done with it, and I can get on with getting on. It's super intense. It takes a lot of your time up, so it makes it difficult to schedule things and whatnot.
Oh, I get that. I mean, I'm on the road a lot, I guess, you know what I mean? And with my work schedule and then my comedy schedule on top of that, it's like, people are like, hey, what you do on your day off? I'm like, what's a day off? I don't have a day off. I have a merch store I run. I have a podcast. I'm a comic. What do you mean day off? What, Christmas? That's the day I take off. That's it. It's about it.
Well, that's what's wild about it is like, I pick up a lot of overtime going on at the firehouse. And then when I'm not doing that, I've got schoolwork and stuff to do. Bro, I'm 39 years old. I have no reason to be in school of any type whatsoever. Like, I'm an antique there.
Yeah.
So when I walk in, all these younger kids are looking at me like, I mean, I say kids, they're adults. But I remember that age and looking at people my age and being like, "Oh my God! Who invited Gramps down here? Are you someone's dad, bro? Do you need help? That's what it feels like when I walk in."
Oh, are you here to pick up Johnny? What do you?
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't help. This thing doesn't help either.
I was just
women look at me. They're like, "Oh my God, Peepaw." I'm like, No, bro, no, I'm not your pap. For real. This is just it's a fireman thing. I'm sorry. I'm not that old.
I was really just about to be like, so is that mustache mandatory for the fire department? is that standard issue stash? Because I've been staring at that thing since we started recording here, man. That's.
So I grow it every year in November for No Shave November, and I usually keep it through Christmas. It's a tradition. I keep it through Christmas, and then sometime around late February, early March, I usually get tired of it, and I'll shave it off, and then I do it all over again the next year for No Shave November. My kids absolutely hate it. The girl that I date absolutely hates it, but I like it. The guys at work like it. They're all gassing me up. They're like, "Man, that's incredible, bro." I'm like, yeah. And then I get home, and they're like, "If you don't shave that off your face, you're excommunicado." I'm like, "What are you talking about, bro?" I was like, "This is who I am.
This is me. You're meeting the real me." It's
right.
That's my wife now. I say it all the time that I'm going to do Movember instead of no shave and do the mustache November. And she's like, that's a quick way to divorce. You shave that beard off your face right now. I'm telling you right now, you go just a mustache. That's a quick way to end this. So I was like, okay, here's the thing. You've met my old man before, Pops and all that. And I'm a spitting image of him and just a little taller and skinnier than what he is. She was like, "Hey, I don't want to be rude, but your dad's a stud. I see where you get it from." I was like, "Okay, so wait a minute. You're telling me my dad, who has a Fu Man, always has,
which is awesome, by the way.
Yeah, always has lost Harry. Righty. All right. Now that we got Harry back, that we wonderful age of technology, yeah." Technical. It was user error, I believe, is what it was. No. But, yeah, I always say technology is great when it works. But anyways, like I was saying, my dad, always had the Fu Man. He's never had a beard, nothing. Always had the Fu Manchu.
It's an Italiano thing, man.
It really is.
Every older guy in Fallensby had that.
Yeah. He still does.
Damn proud of it.
Yeah, he still has.
That's outstanding.
It's a little salt and peppery now, but he's still got it. And my wife always, "Oh man, your dad's a stud." I was like, "So wait a minute. You tell me all the time I'm a spitting image of my father, and he has a mustache, a Fu Man. But if I grow one, I would look like a pedophile. I don't understand your logic. Like, how do you not? How am I not going to look just like him?
Highly illogical. I can't get behind that. I'm sorry. I personally, I think the Fu Man would look great on you.
I do too.
That's just me.
I get it.
Mustache is any type. I mean, you could be a master of mustachio. Look at all that hair, bro.
Dude, yeah, this is like recently trimmed. This is like 2 days worth of me trimming it down so I didn't have to hear them, my parents, on New Year's when we went back for their Christmas. And yeah, it's already needing touched up again. Like, it doesn't take me long. I could look like your stash in a week. Like that, like it's bad. How fast I can grow hair. And,
dude, hold on 1 second. I think the kids are home. Hold on.
Oh, yeah, man. Just talk through this. Harry is a great guy. He'll hear this when it airs. There he is.
Okay.
Kids home?
Sorry. I had to let him in.
Hey, you get it.
Dude.
I'd have kept mine locked out. I mean, he's still in deep shit as it is, so...
So, I want to just go on. I want to go on record since we are on the record.
Yeah.
As saying that I feel like if you grow a mustache and people don't like it, then you need to stand beside your decision to keep said mustache and hold firm. I don't think that it would ever go in any kind of negative direction. They can only sit there and say negative things to you for so long, and then they have to adopt it as their own, bro. I'm just putting it out there.
I get it. I don't know if anybody heard this as soon as my wife heard the word mustache, because she just happened to walk into the room when we were talking about this. She goes, "You're not." And so, yeah, I don't think the Fu Man's happening.
Like a pedophile.
There she is. Go ahead, Harry. You're good. Speak freely.
Tread lightly. I don't want to get you in trouble. I know there's a green screen there, but she could be behind you with a knife, dog, getting ready to stick you. I shaved off toothbrush. I don't know.
She's in front of me. We're good. I got clear eyesight.
Okay, good.
We're
so
good.
At least you'll see it coming.
Yeah.
At least you'll see it coming.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Fair.
That's the only way to go.
Yeah. See, she's not. Yeah. She's gonna make sure she'll get your attention. Hey. Wait till you're looking, and then get you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then pass off 6 times, like you're in prison, bro. That's how you shit someone.
Yeah, she's proficient in that. Yeah. So you have your. We'll talk about that because I'm sure we're gonna get the rundown of why my 13-year-old is in trouble. You have kids now too, so how do you manage being a firefighter and dad at the same time?
So it's a bit of a juggle, and I'm divorced, so it becomes even more of a challenge. But we have set days that we have the kids based on my schedule at the fire department, which the firefighting schedule is the major attractor to that job. Because let's face it, we don't make a ton of money. But the schedule is super nice. So if you need a second job, or if you need to be single dad, you can do that with relative ease. So we work a day on, a day off, a day on, a day off, a day on, and 4 days off, and they're 24-hour shifts. So those 4 days off, I have the girls, which is fantastic. And then the days when I'm on, the 3 days that I'm on, and the 2 days in between, their mom has them. So it's super, super easy to delegate, days for whoever, and it makes it going on vacations and whatnot easy. It can be a challenge in that there's times when I'll be sitting at home and a big incident's going on in Wheeling, and they'll call guys back to work. They'll say, "Hey, mandatory recall, come back to work." And I got to call, my parents or somebody and be like, "Hey, can you hang out with the girls? I got to go." Then I have to drop them off on the way by. But for the most part, the schedule is what makes having a life simpler. I mean, if I'm at the fire department, if I'm, at the firehouse for the day, I'm there. But if I'm off, I'm golden. It's absolutely wonderful. So I can't really complain about scheduling. It's not like when I was a cop. When I was a cop, I had no time to myself. I worked 5 8-hour shifts a week, and that was minimum. And typically, you work a shift as a policeman, you make a late arrest, or someone, makes a late call in, and there's a problem, and you have to go and handle that incident. you're not working 8 hours a day. You're working like 12 or 16 hours in that day. So, I mean, that job is just, my hat goes off to those folks. I salute them. As a guy who did it, I can tell you that it's one of the hardest jobs in America right now. They're absolutely under fire all the time, whether it be from the media or, politicians or, the public. They have a hard job. They're constantly under a microscope of scrutiny, and they have to do everything right. They're expected to be perfect all the time. And it's a very difficult time to be a police officer. I'm glad that I did it, and I'm super glad it's over.
Yeah. I get that 100%. I mean, I still don't get scrutiny and everything over police officers and everything like that, and first responders and everything that's going on that's going on in this world today. I'm happy as your friend that you're not in that line of fire anymore. You're just running into fires. But I mean, feel like you can manage a fire better than that.
Well, it's wild. So my buddy's a detective, and he just newly got promoted to detective. We used to work on patrol together. We were partners. Had a great time with that guy. He's a fantastic cop. Second generation. His dad was a cop in Pittsburgh for like 30 years. And we were sitting on his porch last night having cigars and just BSing about, the old days and whatnot. And I told him, I said, bro, I said, if that building over there is on fire right now, I said, I can scientifically look at it and say, okay, this is what's going on, and kind of predict what's going to happen and make, a safe attack plan on how we're going to, defeat that. You can't, humanity as a whole, you cannot, plan for that. And people are going to be people, are going to do wild stuff. So, whereas the fire is predictable, or any incident is somewhat predictable in my job. I'm not saying it's not dangerous, because it is, because sometimes shit just happens. You cannot see all the elements that are working. That's why firefighting is so dynamic. But, there's not that human element. And you could be, as a policeman, you could be in 7-Eleven or Starbucks getting a cup of coffee, and someone doesn't like police, who's just had enough of life, just comes in and pops you in the head and kills you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then they're ready to go have a gunfight with all your buddies when they show up. I mean, it's wild. It's a wild time to be a police officer now in America. And like I said, I appreciate all those guys and what they do, and I'm glad I'm not one of them.
I will bring up this story because I know you love this story back from our hockey days, and I know I can see it in your face. I think you know where I'm going with this.
I know.
You know exactly where I'm going with this. So we were playing hockey one night, and given it was a little later than usual, but it was also
lights were still on.
Yeah, lights were still on at the park.
Lights were still on.
It's game time. That's what we're doing. We played until those lights went off, and it's like, all right, time to wrap this up. So a guy in the apartments across the street. Keep in mind, everybody, Harry was there. He was a cop at the time.
I just got off work. I was working afternoon that day.
Yeah, he had just gotten off duty. And so this guy comes out and was like, hey, keep it down or I'm going to call the cops. And Harry, go ahead and tell him what you did after that.
Well, I mean, he was being a jerk. He could have came over and asked nicely, but he was a jerk. So I screamed back. I was like, we're already here. And the whole court erupted in laughter. And then we all started taunting the guy. It wasn't my finest. I was a young policeman. It wasn't my finest moment. But he went back in, never said another damn word after that. And the police never showed up. So
no,
it's all good.
No, you forget the end of that story.
I apparently do. What happened? What happened?
Uncle Lou Bonaventura, my uncle.
Oh, Louis was on night turn.
Was on night turn. The chief of police at the time shows up and was like, hey guys, you're not doing anything wrong, but we got a complaint and you got to shut it down. And Harry was behind me at the time. Now, I'm 6'5". Harry's not that big of a guy. And I was in full...
5'8" guy.
Yeah, and I was in full goalie pad. So Uncle Lou couldn't see him. And Harry peeks his head out from around me and goes, hey, Lou! And
I forgot about this.
And I just hear him go, oh, God damn it, Harry, you know better than this.
Dude, listen, this is no joke. Lou was a hard dude, and he was like my height. He wasn't a tall guy. Wow. And I saw Lou get into a lot of situations where he was able to talk people through stuff. Because, I mean, he'd been a policeman for 30 years. So he was a great de-escalator. I also saw Lou crack a couple skulls because he just, these people were trying us and he wasn't going to have them hurt any of us. And he handled business. Outstanding policeman and definitely one of the greatest teachers I had as far as how to police properly and have empathy for people and understand that, there's a humanitarian side to policing that a lot of guys don't get. You got a lot of guys out there, especially now in this new age where they're trying to turn policing into a revenue hub. They'll go out and write 1 million tickets. And that's all good, but they're forgetting that, when you write someone a ticket, you're taking money out of their pocket. They're blue collar working folk like the rest of us. And Lou was excellent at teaching that. And when I was a field training officer in my later years as a policeman, to always use Lou Bonaventura's approach to things. Listen, we're not a source of revenue. There's people out there that are going to do things that are wrong. Stop them, correct them. As long as they're cool, you let them go about their business. They've learned their lesson. If they're an asshole, then you go ahead and give them a ticket. But he always used to tell me, he's like, you don't take money out of a working person's pocket just because you can. And that always stuck with me. He was an outstanding teacher, and he's still in it. He cannot stay away from it. He still works at the federal building as a security guy.
He's a Bonaventura for one. Like the older generation Bonaventuras don't know how to not work. And for two, the cracking skulls, he grew up literally with immigrant parents, like from straight off the boat from Italy. He got his skull cracked a lot, because I'm telling you, because they didn't mess around. I still can hear my great grandparents. I didn't know them long because they weren't around long, but I remember, and I can hear their voices just yelling in broken English
from the old country.
Yeah, in broken English, and I knew when my great grandmother Bonaventura lost English, well, the little English she knew, and went straight to Italian. She's no longer liable for her actions, that was what she's telling you. And frying pans got thrown, wooden spoons. I mean, yeah, he grew up tough. Like, he knows how to crack skulls, but it also taught him to be, like you said, that have that empathy for somebody that needed it and to let him go. I can't tell you how many times he's pulled me over. He had
totally believable.
Yeah,
totally believable.
I knew it was him just by the way he got out of his car, like the squad car. Just the way he went to get out of it, I was like, "Oh, this is Uncle Lou. Oh no, this is either going to be really bad or really good."
Presence.
He did, and
he did.
I remember one time. I mean, I'll admit it. I probably shouldn't have been driving. I went out with a couple of buddies, had a couple of drinks, couple too many, and I went from Wheeling, and I know you'll know where this is, by the McDonald's in Follansbee.
Oh yeah,
almost home. I was like a minute and a half, 2 minutes away from being home, and in my head, I'm like, I'm good. I made it, and I see the lights behind me, and I was like, shit. So I pull over, and I see him get out of the car, and I was like, oh no, this is Uncle Lou. This is either going to be really bad or really good for me. And he gets out, and he walks up, and I already had the window down, and I'm just staring straight ahead. I'm like, maybe he'll just let me go. And this must have been just a brutal shift for him, or the end of his shift, because he went and he goes, oh, God damn it, Michael, go home, and just walked back to his car.
Dude, I saw him. There was a guy on the job with us that his son was troubled, and he would get in trouble all the time. And I remember him saying, I was a new policeman. I'm talking like brand new, like maybe like 2 months on the job. And he looked at me, he's like, God damn it. He's like, your dad is a policeman. You know better than this. I mean, you just start ripping this guy a new ass. I'm just like, shrink into the car, man. Like, I was scared. I was like, what's going to happen to this young man? Like, he was a guy that just, if you were like in his line of fire, if he was pissed off at you, you were in fear. And it was a good, healthy way of policing. Like, he had a good rapport with the community. I remember between him, Carmen Staffolino, Dave Parker, those guys, they're the guys that molded me into being a policeman. They're the guys that molded me into being a cop. And as a rookie learning the job, you couldn't ask for better teachers. They all had 30 years in the job.
Right.
At that time. I mean, it was incredible. They're just great guys. I'm blessed for knowing them and for having them as teachers because it's what got me through 13 years of what was definitely not always a good time.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure it wasn't. And, I mean, I wish we had more time to talk about all that, but we are running down near the end of the episode here, Harry, and your mustache. I'll tell your mustache the same thing because, God, that thing's epic. But, hey, Harry, I do got to get this segment in because my manager of this podcast will kill me if I don't get it in. I know you don't know what's coming up. So this is the Fast Fitty 5. It's 5 random questions from the wonderful manager of the podcast, Johnny Fitty Falcone. And these are kind of rapid fire, but you can elaborate if you need to. And I know you don't know this, man, but these are the most random ass questions you will ever have to deal with. So if you're ready, my man.
Okay.
All right. Question number 1. Are aliens real?
Absolutely. 100% real.
All right. I like that answer. I'm not going to lie to you. I like that answer off the rip. Question number 2. Did dinosaurs really exist?
Yeah. We dig their bones up all the time. Dude, and the Earth is round. For all you flat earthers, the Earth is round and dinosaurs are real. There's this shit called science. We know these things. It's incredible.
What? It's science. All right. Question number 3. Which sport is more enjoyable to watch on TV? Football or basketball?
Oh, definitely football by far.
I mean,
it's a no-brainer.
I think he wanted to give you a toss-up, knowing you don't know much about this segment. So that's
I did not know.
Yeah, I don't like to tell anybody about this before we start recording, guys. I love the look on
I was
your face.
ill-informed, Mike.
That was on purpose. That was done purposely.
By design.
Yeah, 100%. I don't tell anybody about this segment, and then bam, end of the episode. Oh, by the way, here we go. You got to answer questions. Question number 4. For 6 months by yourself, would you rather be in the ocean on a submarine or in outer space on a spaceship?
Oh, outer space on a spaceship, 100%. Floating around, being like Neil Armstrong and stuff. Who doesn't want to do that?
I feel like I knew the answer to that question after hearing the swimming test portion of your firefighter, and that's what stopped you years ago. We're not going near water.
The captain on the ladder truck in Wheeling is a close friend of mine. He said, I watched your swim for the time that you passed the test to get on the job here. He said, and by far the ugliest swim I ever saw. He said, he heard Chariots of Fire playing as I was coming in for landing because it was like pure determination at that point. I was wrecked already from taking the physical portion of the test. I'm just like, it was terrible, bro.
Should have called me, bro. You know I was a swimmer. I don't know why you didn't call me.
I could have just I just gotta just take the mustache on you, put you in the water, man.
Done. I got you. Best time ever. All right. Question number 5, and the last question. Is Kevin Costner a great or just an average actor?
Oh, my God. Are you kidding me? He's like one of the greatest actors of our time. The Postman, one of the most underrated films ever. I mean, and that's the one that I think is probably my favorite film that no one talks about. But let's be real. Like, all his other movies, incredible. I mean, one of the most incredible actors of all time.
Absolutely. Gotta say, love all your answers. I mean, I might pick the submarine just because I don't know why. I've been in the water since I was 8 years old.
I mean, the ocean hasn't really been explored. There's a lot going on down there we do not know about.
There's a lot of shit down there that would be kind of cool to run into, but kind of not cool at the same time. But yeah, I was in the water since I was 8 all the way through college, so I'm kind of used to the water.
Yeah, I'm good. Send me to space, bro.
Yeah, I don't like heights. I'm terrified of heights. Like that's my biggest fear is heights.
See, I love that shit. Like that's one of the things I want to do as a paramedic. Once I get some time under my belt on the ambulance, I've been an EMT for 2 decades, but I'm just now learning this paramedic stuff. So I think it's like 3 years you have to have mandatory, and then I'm gonna get my critical care transport and all that, and I'm going to go fly on the helicopter. That's the plan. Because they have flight medics, and I mean, what's more badass than getting off of a helicopter and a flight suit and all that? The chicks dig it, bro. I got to do it. I got to do it for the chicks.
I got to say, you just made, I don't know if anybody heard it, but you just made the wife go, oh, when you said off in the flight suit. She's thinking of Top Gun. She's thinking of Tom Cruise, flight suit.
100%. Did you know that it's actually a known scientific fact that when you are walking around in a flight suit, that people view you in slow motion? It's incredible. It's incredible. Everywhere you go, slow motion.
That'd be the way to live, man. Just slow motion all the time.
Word up.
But all right, Harry, running down near the end of the episode. I give every guest this opportunity at the end of the episode. If there's anything you want to get out for the fire station or anything like that, or just a good message to promote or anything like that, the floor is yours, brother.
Well, we do a cooking show, as you know. Mike has been a great supporter of our cooking show. We do it every shift as long as we're in quarters. It's on my TikTok, Evil Canoe 16, spelled just like it sounds, all one word, Evil Canoe 16. Look me up on TikTok and IG, and we have a cooking show on there. It's a lot of fun down the little South Wheeling Station, number 4, nestled in Wheeling, West Virginia. We'd love to have you guys on. In the meantime, definitely be showing some love to my man, Mike. He really does a lot of good for the guys like me, getting us out there and promoted and whatnot. He's always working to make the guys at Station 4 look good. So we appreciate you, Mike, and I appreciate you having me on, brother.
Hey, not a problem. And I got to say, Harry, first time I've gotten a shout out in 3 seasons of doing this show, giving guests the opportunity. That's the first time.
Hey, man.
I appreciate
real
you,
recognize
brother.
Real, fam. Real recognize real.
I got you. I appreciate you, brother. That's going to do it for this week's episode of the Ride Home Rants podcast. As always, if you enjoyed the show, be a friend, tell a friend. If you didn't, tell them anyways. They might like it just because you didn't. That's going to do it for me, and I will see y'all next week. The Ride Home Rants podcast is brought to you by Dubby Energy. Energy drinks made for gamers, streamers, and podcasters alike. For gamers, streamers, and podcasters alike. Go to the link in the description where you can find the best energy drinks out there. Less caffeine than a cup of coffee. Also, no jitters and no crash afterwards. Use the promo code Mike Bono and get yourself 10% off. Also, the Ride Home Rants podcast is brought to you by my favorite sponsor of the show, and that is Shankit Golf. Golf apparel made for the everyday golfer. We might not go out and shoot a 6 under par. We're probably going to shoot a 6 over par, but this is going to give us the gear that's going to help us rock it on and off of the course. Go to the link in the bio, use the promo code Mike Bono, and get yourself 10% off there as well.